2015 Triumph Daytona 675R, guys. Wow, look at this bike. Doesn't this look phenomenal? I am so excited to take this for a ride today, so let's go. Let's get started. Wow, this engine just sounds sweet. Nice sound, guys, nice sound. Let's roll. Man, this is a sweet sounding engine. Like I said, I've always been a fan of triple engines, and this engine just sounds phenomenal, just absolutely phenomenal. I hope this is coming out on the video. I'm a huge fan of triple engines, and I'm just so happy to be on this Daytona game. So this is my second time on a Daytona 675R. I did a test ride of this about a year ago. Man, I love doing that. I love this throttle. I did a test ride of the standard Daytona about a year ago, and that was a standard model, so I was always curious about, what the difference between the R model would be. So I'm just happy to be bringing this video to you guys. So I'm in Livermore, California, very close to San Francisco, about 50 miles outside San Francisco. And I'm gonna basically do, a very in-depth review of this bike today. So I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna just try to bring you what I feel. So right now I'm just getting accustomed to the bike, get a feel of it, and I want to just kind of bring you as much in-depth expressions and feedback on this bike as I can. So this is the 675R model. The difference between this and the base model is that this has the Olin suspension. It's got Brembo braking. It's got a couple of carbon fiber parts, and the color I picked out today is the pearl white color. Man, this engine just sounds sweet, just absolutely sweet. So I'm going to basically take us on a couple of twisties, and then I'm going to hit the freeway. So I'll just kind of record communicate my feedback as we go along here, and then at the end I'll try to do. I've got a couple of Mustangs here. So at the end I'll try to kind of recap it all. A couple of young kids here and their Mustangs, and I think that was a Dodge. So yeah, let's head up to a couple of twisties here and just see what this bike feels like. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Daytona 675R. Just the 675 bike, just a huge fan. And I think this is probably one of the best 600s you can get. A lot of 600s out there, but I think this is probably, for me, I think this is the best one that you could get. I think the R1 is pretty good. I rode the R1, you should see my videos on that. I was surprisingly surprised at how good the R1 is. But I think this one is probably one of the best 600s I've ever ridden, and I'll kind of go through why. But let's head up these twisties first. Let's head out to these twisties. Let's take a quick look at the bike, do a quick walk around first. It's a pearl white color, just looks absolutely phenomenal in white. I like the red stripes. This has got the Olin suspensions and the Brembo brakes. Got a couple of carbon fiber parts. Just looks absolutely gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. It's a very good looking bike, very good looking bike. Nice lines. Okay, we're heading up here on some twisties. We'll get some nice curves here and see how this bike handles like. But let's firstly talk about kind of the seating position. So right off the bat, I think this bike is very slim. Out of all the 600s that I've ridden, this is probably one of the slimmest bikes. Very thin, it's very thin. And the handlebars here are very kind of compact, very close to each other. And this is definitely the slimmest 600 that I've ridden compared to, you know, the R6 and the, you know, these ZX6R I've ridden that, the CBR 600, and its bike feels so light. I mean, this is so light, and the weight of this bike is about 360 pounds dry, and wet weight is about, I think it's about 400, and that explains why it feels so light. It's just extremely light and compact bike. And it's handling these curves just absolutely fine. So in terms of the seating position, it's definitely very aggressive. Okay, I'm gonna just pull over here and see if we can find a spot here to have a look at the bike. But in terms of, you know, the seating position, it's definitely very aggressive. It's an aggressive seating position, but it's not uncomfortable for me. I think my preference is I like the aggressive nature, the aggressive seating positions of supersports, and I feel kind of at home and very comfortable on these supersports. Just very I just like the fit and the aggressive riding position. But in terms of this bike, boy, this is extremely light, very slim bike. It just feels like you can pick it up with your hands and just throw it around anywhere. That's how kind of it feels. It's very agile. I mean, it's taken these curves extremely well. It's very, very agile. Okay, I think I got a spot here. I'll just pull over here and let's see what the bike looks like from. Let's show a quick walk around. It's the pearl white color. Okay, let's get off here. Boy, doesn't this engine sound great. Alright, there you go. Let's just do a quick walk around. Just love the way this bike looks. I mean, look at the front. It looks like a mantis. A mantis that's about to strike. And this engine, I mean, that muffler, that stock muffler just sounds absolutely great. Like the way the rear end looks. Just a beautiful looking bike. This is just an absolutely gorgeous looking bike. I like the forks, inverted forks, Olin forks, Olin suspension. Alright, let's turn around here and hit more twisties and see if we can get the freeway as well. Whoops. Gotta do this on your test ride, right? There you go. I'm surprised why it just didn't fire up. No worries, mate. Let's just go. Let's turn this thing around. Yeah, this is what a 600 feels like, very light. You can easily turn it around. Man, this acceleration is good. It's just such a kind of responsive engine that just wants to rev and rev. Yeah, so speaking of the seating position, I mean, This is for me, I feel pretty comfortable in this seating position. I'm 6 feet tall, and I think I've got lots of room here in the cockpit. I can kind of stretch my butt out and go as far back as I want. I've got lots of leg room. The seat seems comfortable, and yeah, I mean the cockpit feels just absolutely fine. I also like the way this dash feels, this looks. I like the way it's designed. It's got the full tachometer and a nice electronic display here on the left. It's got a fuel gauge, which I like to see. I don't want to run out of fuel. And the seating position is definitely tight compared, very slim, but it's comfortable, and I feel very comfortable on this bike. So I think I talked about the engine, right? This is a 675 cc's, and probably the largest engine in the 600s compared to the others. The others are 600, the ZX6R 636. So the fact that I've got about 75 cc's more, I can feel that. I mean, it's got a good feel, good torque on the low end. The low end is much better and much more responsive on this. I can kind of feel the pull off the line even at low revs compared to some of the other 600s. And I think if you're looking at the 600, then you're paying dollar cost per cc. I think this, if you run the numbers, this probably comes down to the most economical. You get more cc's for the dollars that you're spending compared to the other 600s. So speaking of kind of the 600s, I mean, I think for me this is probably my favorite 600. I just, having ridden all the 600s, I just enjoy riding this one just more than the other 600s. Just an exciting bike. Once again, this engine just sounds absolutely gorgeous. I think this is one of the best sounding engines on the planet. And even with the stock exhaust, it just sounds absolutely great. And if I get this bike, I'm really not sure whether I'll change the exhaust, because the stock exhaust just sounds absolutely great. Man, I could just listen to this engine all day. It just sounds so awesome. So let's talk about the quick shifter. This bike has a quick shifter. This is one of the features this has compared to the standard model, and I've already used it a couple of times up and down, and to be honest, and I think this is the comment I had on when I rode the S1, the BMW as well. I prefer using the standard clutch and gearbox versus using the quick shifter. I mean, I think it's a cool feature to have, but would I wanna just insist on having a quick shifter? Probably not. I just like the kind of the old school way of shifting, because it just makes you a safer driver, because I don't want to forget about pulling in the clutch in an emergency situation and revving the bike, getting on one wheel. So yeah, I just like the standard shifter. Man, this is a good looking bike. I just like the way this looks. I think the mirrors here, I'm looking at the mirrors here, they don't really give you much visibility of the back. So from a rear visibility perspective, you see a little bit, you don't see all of it, all of the back. They're kind of small. No big deal. I mean, there's just so many good qualities about this bike. I'm not going to really worry about kind of rear view mirrors. Man, this engine sounds great. It just takes these corners really, really well. These curves, it handles these curves absolutely beautifully. That's one of the benefits of, the slimness of this bike. That lane splitting was pretty easy. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get on the freeway here. I'm pretty happy with the way it handles the country roads. And let's see if I can find a freeway here and see what it feels like on the freeway. Yeah, so let's talk about the engine, the transmission, and the clutch. It's a very smooth shifter. It's got a slipper clutch built in, and you can tell the smoothness is probably one of the best gearbox that I've experienced. I mean, I like the one that I experienced on the R6 and the BMW 1000RR, but this shifter and gearbox is great. Okay, let's get some freeway action here, guys. Let's rev it. Wow, this thing's got a lot of pull, a lot of power. Man, this thing's got a lot of power. That is definitely very fast. Very, very fast. Easy pull. Easy power to pass these cars, man. You can definitely get this thing going. Man, you can hit 80 miles, 90 miles an hour in a heartbeat here. Plenty of power. So I think I'm like about 85 miles an hour, and I still feel like it hasn't even woken up. The engine is still asleep, and I still got a lot more left. My God. Definitely fantastic on the freeways, that's for sure. And then from a wind perspective, man, this is giving me some pretty good wind protection as well. No wind buffeting, good clean air over my head. Good, good wind protection. You're not getting jarred around at all at these high speeds. And you can definitely take this thing on the freeway and ride some pretty long miles. Not a problem at all. I'm not getting thrown around at all by the wind. Good wind protection. Like I said, 85 miles plus, and I still feel like I got a lot of power and torque still left in this bike. My God, it just feels great. Just feels absolutely great. Man, I don't think I could. I think I can keep up, and I'm pretty much faster than anything on the road with this thing. I don't think there'd be many cars or many bikes that could pass me with this power that I have on this bike. And speaking of power, my God, I mean the leader bikes are great, but I don't feel like this is a slouch at all. I think this is quite capable. Definitely capable of keeping up with the leader bikes. Man. Very nice on the freeways. The suspension is quite good too. Giving me some good riding on the freeway. Yeah, riding comfort is very, very good. Man, this is definitely one exciting bike to ride. I mean, I just feel very alive, very excited, very alive on this bike. It definitely gets your adrenaline going, man, this bike. And that's primarily because the way it's shaped, the way it's designed, the way you're sitting on the bike, and primarily also because the way this thing sounds. This engine just sounds and just makes you want to, just makes you come alive. Kind of like what the R6 did to me. When I rode that R6, that engine sounded just absolutely great, and I'm getting that same feeling here on this bike. I think this engine sounds a little bit better, just slightly better than the R6 engine. And so let's head back here. Let's turn back here on the freeway, kind of do our loop and get back to the dealership. So yeah, I'm in Livermore, California, just 50 miles outside San Francisco. I think I mentioned that. Man, this engine is just spectacular. The throttle response is very good. It's just a very lively throttle. Just wants you to go fast. Just wants you to go fast. Alright, let's get on the freeway here. take this ramp, get past this Jeep. There you go, that's one benefit of this bike, man. It's slim enough to fit into anywhere. You can fit into some pretty tight spots here. And I think from a lane splitting perspective, okay, we've got some traffic. Let's see how this thing handles lane splitting. I think it should be just absolutely fine, but let's get a sense of it. Some real life California lane splitting. Yeah, not a problem at all. Not a problem. Yeah, you don't have to worry about fitting into tight spots with this bike. Good visibility, good power. Yeah, from a visibility perspective, it's sitting a little bit lower than my V-Strom in an adventure style ride, but man, the power you get a lot of good passing power to lane split very comfortably here. I've already noticed that the braking here, the lane splitting is really good, and I think at certain times I've had to apply the brakes here, and the braking power is really good here as well. It's got ABS built in. Some more lane splitting action here. Yeah, not a problem. Very good for lane splitting. Some more tight spots here. Yeah, the passing power is just phenomenal here. Good passing power. And I think this bike, you want to go fast, but at the same time, I think you can cruise along at it as well, and enjoy the sound of this engine, and enjoy the kind of the riding experience. It's just an exciting bike. It's a very nice bike. When I rode this bike about a year ago, the standard model, I left. I think I took it for 45 minutes. I just didn't want to get off, and I kind of feel the same way here as well. I just don't want to get off this bike. I just want to ride this thing. This is spectacular, just absolutely spectacular. So here we got some tight spots here. Yeah, this thing is slim and very capable in lane splitting. Very capable. Yeah, so I'm just trying to reflect kind of the difference between this and the regular model. I felt the regular model just feels as good as this one. This one, the added benefit of this is definitely the quick shifter and the Brembo brakes. And speaking of brakes, yeah, this thing's got some really, really good brakes. Very capable brakes. It's got ABS built in, and that's one of the selling points of the Daytona compared to the other 600s. You have to pay extra for ABS on a lot of the other 600s, and I think on the R6 you don't even have ABS. The ZX6R you have to pay extra, the Suzuki you have to pay extra. So that's one of the benefits you get with this Daytona. It's kind of stock, and I think this is very competitively priced. If I'm gonna get a 600, I think I've already decided I'm gonna get this one. This is probably the bike that I want to add into my collection. I've always said that I want to have a supersports, a leader bike, or a 600. If I get a 600, I'm definitely going to get this one. And if I want to kind of get a leader bike, then I think I'm probably leaning towards the R1 right now versus the BMW S1000RR. I think the BMW S1000RR is a great bike, but I'm probably lean towards more the R1 because it feels a little lighter and be more 600 and more agile than the S1000RR. But anyway, let's talk about this bike. My God, it's a nice looking car. Let's slow down here. Nice antique model. Let's fit through this traffic, get past this traffic. Boy, this thing's agile, very agile. Pardon me for taking lane splitting here on the right, but I just want to get on the right here and take this exit. Man, this thing's got a lot of power. Yep, absolutely just perfect for freeways, perfect for canyons. Let's take this exit and get back. So what else can I tell you about this bike? I mean, it's just a great bike. It's an absolutely great bike. Yeah, from an excitement, I think one of the factors that I definitely look at is the excitement level on the bike. This thing is definitely a very exciting bike to ride. Very exciting. Very exciting bike. Lots of power. Enough power. I think it's got about 124 horsepower. And then the torque, it's got about, what, 53 pounds of torque. So that's more than enough power that I need to go extremely fast and keep up with the leader bikes. And just pretty much be one of the fastest, you know, be one of the fastest moving objects on freeways. And just do it comfortably and do it with fun. And this bike's won a bunch of awards. I think it's won a bunch of awards as well. Man, the agility of this is nice. It's nice to easy to turn. Alright guys, I'm heading back here. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've enjoyed this, watching this as much as I've enjoyed riding it. And do check out all my other videos, and do subscribe, do like, and I hope you guys enjoyed this bike as much as I did. Fantastic bike. I definitely want to get one of these bikes. I want one.